prosecutors in New York suggesting today that the investigation into the president goes beyond those hush money payments made to an adult film star.
For Donald Trump, the criminal investigation is moving from bad to worse.
What the Manhattan DA is looking at here is potential fraud relating to the value of assets, overstating the value of your assets to get loans, understating the value of your assets when it comes tax time. That kind of thing is straightforward, textbook fraud. It's much easier for prosecutors to prove those kind of charges.
And to help Cyrus Vance Jr. prove his Trump case, the Washington Post reported over the holidays the prosecutor is adding resources. The headline screamed, New York prosecutor hires forensic accounting experts as Trump criminal probe escalates. The body of the story reported Vance is contracted with FDI Consulting to look for anomalies among a variety of property deals and to advise the district attorney on whether the president's company manipulated the value of certain assets to obtain favorable interest rates and tax breaks. And even before this story broke, former prosecutors said that based on the public filings, the evidence against Trump was piling up.
Do you think Trump could end up going to jail if he is not reelected because of anything in here?
No question about it. And his daughter could go to jail too. Tax evasion is a 5-year felony. It's a pretty serious crime. And the more money that's stolen, the longer you go to jail for.
The idea of a former U.S. president being indicted, convicted, and sentenced to jail sounds preposterous. Indeed, it has never happened before. But in the case of Donald Trump, the odds may not be so far-fetched. Hello, everybody. I'm David Shuster, and thanks for watching. Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance Jr. opened his criminal investigation of Donald Trump 2 years ago to examine hush money payments made to 2 women. The court filings indicate the probe has indeed expanded to include other actions by Trump and his organization. The filings specifically refer to potential bank fraud, tax fraud, and insurance fraud. Last July, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled against Trump, saying that even as president, he is not immune from state court proceedings. President Trump then argued that the Vance subpoenas amounted to political harassment. The lower courts have rejected that argument as well, and the matter is now back in front of the U.S. Supreme Court, where Donald Trump has been asking for a suspension of the Vance proceedings. If the president's request to halt the proceedings is denied, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office would get immediate access to Donald Trump's tax records. Legal experts believe that the analysts hired by Vance, while waiting for those records, have probably already examined some of the various financial statements and mortgage documents related to many of these deals. In terms of potential criminal exposure, it is possible that Vance could determine that it was the Trump organization that broke the law, not necessarily Donald Trump personally. In order to bring charges, the prosecutors must establish that there was intent to break the law, something that is usually helped by the testimony of an insider witness. One such witness could be the president's former fixer, Michael Cohen, as his testimony to Congress underscored.
Did the president ever provide inflated assets to a bank in order to help him obtain a loan?
These documents and others were provided to Deutsche Bank on one occasion where I was with them in our attempt to obtain money.
At the end of December, the loan officer at Deutsche Bank who handled these Trump activities resigned. Her lawyer says she is cooperating with all investigations. Donald Trump and his organization have denied any wrongdoing, but there is every indication that the Trump investigation is ramping up and moving closer to something that has never happened before in U.S. history, the criminal indictment of a former U.S. president.